Steelers suffer a devastating loss yesterday to the New York Jets at home by the score of 24-20. Luckily, across the league yesterday, though, the Ravens and Browns both lost. However, the Steelers still sit in the basement of the AFC North. The major storyline from yesterday's game, of course, Kenny Pickett. He got his first NFL snaps in the second half after the offense was yet again struggling in the first half with Mitch at the helm, only scoring 6 points. And honestly, 3 of those points came right before half as the Jets gifted us with a 59-yard field goal after roughing the passer penalty. Had it not been for that, we would have been going into the second half with only 3 points. But it was then when Tomlin finally pulled the trigger. He said enough is enough. The offense has been struggling too much. It's time for KP8. With Mitch, man, I don't know what to say. If we're going to just talk about yesterday's performance, actually just felt like more of the same from what we saw in him the first 3 games and probably just what we saw of him going back to Chicago. We see the flashes, the arm talent's there. We see some really great throws, but then it's just not all together. We're not completing our third downs. We're not keeping the drives going, and that's a detriment. So yeah, it was time. Was it all on Mitch in the first half? No, but that's what we've been saying these last however many weeks. It's not all on him. The offensive struggles aren't all on him. But don't we want more out of our quarterback? Don't we need more? Like, it shouldn't feel if everything's not perfect, like if we somehow get a penalty on a drive and we have to move back a little bit, or if a receiver drops a ball, that we can't get points on the board because it's not all perfect. Like, we should be able to make up for things. And just like Mahomes or, top tier quarterbacks. They have a 3rd and 15, they can easily convert it. Like, we have no doubt in our minds, if an offensive lineman gets a false start or a holding penalty, it's 2nd and 20. Oh, we could still pick up this third down. We could still keep this drive going. So in yesterday's game, it's like Deontay Johnson with that touchdown catch. Just because his toe is a little bit out of bounds, we shouldn't feel like, oh shit, that was our only chance for a touchdown. But didn't it feel that way? And I'm not going to front. I didn't think this quarterback switch was going to happen. Definitely not this soon. Because even looking back to whenever we had the conversation on the podcast of who's going to see the field first between TJ Watt and Kenny Pickett, I thought it was going to be TJ Watt. I thought Tomlin was going to take a way more conservative approach with this quarterback decision, but I'm very, very happy to be proven wrong on this one. And with how the game went, too, it was just more of what we saw in the first couple weeks, and a switch wasn't made then, so I was just like, I don't know why they'd make the switch now. It was more of Mitch not losing us the game. We're seeing some flashes here and there. It's not all on him, but still, the offense is struggling. People in the stadium are calling for Kenny Pickett, but Tomlin read the room. Shout out to him for making the decision, and we saw that reap the benefits in the second half. And then I got a little insider's note on this one because I was at the stadium. So when the decision was made, coming out of halftime, the Jets actually got the ball first, and I was down in the main concourse. So I had no clue about some of the tweets and the reports that were coming out that, all right, Pickett's warming up. He's got a helmet on the sideline and everything. So I'm just there. I'm ordering beers and whatnot. And then after the Jets punt, Gunnar Olszewski, of course, fumbles another punt. I think that's 2 in 4 weeks. He's supposed to be an all-pro return man. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. But I just start to hear the crowd cheering crazily. I'm like, why is the crowd cheering like this because we recovered our own punt fumble? Like, this doesn't make sense. And everyone's like, look at the screen, Pickett's in. And yeah, the place was absolutely electric. Not only at that moment, but for the rest of that second half. So yeah, man, Pickett's the guy. He's the guy going forward. Is there any debate to this right now? I know some people might be upset about Mitch getting pulled, or they think maybe he should have gotten more time. But with the decision being made and how Pickett performed in the second half, yeah, he's the guy going forward. Deontay Johnson said he played with swagger. Muth was saying he was a gamer. His stats, 10 of 13, 120 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 3 picks. The Pickett to Pickens connection is clear and obvious already. He's throwing dimes to him left and right, and also getting Muth involved. The one in particular was that 3rd and 8, whenever Pickett's getting rushed. And what's funny about this play, too, it goes back to what I said at the beginning. This drive was about to stall out. We got a penalty on first down, moved us back. I believe it was 1st and 20 or 1st and 15. And then we ran the ball and got it to like a 3rd and long. It was 3rd and 8. And then Pickett drops back, stays in the pocket, is about to get drilled. He did get drilled and delivers a strike to Freiermuth. And then we score a touchdown on the next play. I believe it was the next play whenever Pickett rushed it in. But there you go. The offense had a new life we hadn't seen since Ben last year, whenever he was drawing up his own plays in the dirt in the fourth quarter and leading game-winning drives. And if you want to talk about the picks and just have your focus shifted in that direction, I don't know what to tell you. You must not be that fun at parties, because those picks really weren't on Pickett. The one was right before the end of the game. Last-ditch Hail Mary effort. We're not counting that for sure. And then the other two hit off the intended target's hands. With Claypool, Pickett threw a bomb up to have him try to make a play. He didn't come down with it. And then the Muth one, this one, I could hear you out if you said, like, yo, it's not the wisest decision to be throwing that ball or keeping it in play there, because we're trying to protect it, live to see another down. I get that 100%. I do, because whenever I rewatched it today, I'm like, damn, that really wasn't the throw to make, because Muth was still, like, close to the line of scrimmage. It wouldn't have gained us too much. But also, at the same time, if it hits your hands, you should come down with it, especially if you're like a top 10 tight end in this league. And yeah, that was just unfortunate. It wasn't like this impossible catch or like an overthrown ball. It was high. Muth should have caught it, and it resulted in a pick. So with Pickett right there, it wasn't the wisest decision. But again, I think Muth should have came down with the ball. But if you're just going to have your focus on that, I think that would be really foolish, because you're neglecting literally everything else that happened in the second half of that game when Pickett got in. But the other thing, too, is whenever I was rewatching this game today, and we were up 20-10 at one point in the second half, I kept thinking to myself as the game kept progressing, how the fuck did we lose this one? But what's crazy is that actually still gives me some signs of hope and optimism going forward. And I'll explain. The Pickett interception to Muth, we could say that was a shot in the foot. I don't know exactly what happens if he doesn't throw the pick. Do we somehow keep that drive going on a 3rd and long, or do we end up punting? Do we kick a field goal? They ended up scoring a touchdown, so I'm not going to play that whole hypothetical game. But outside of that, literally everything went in the Jets' favor for those last two drives. Because the defense, I know people are shitting on them, and rightfully so, because the Jets were able to score those 2 touchdowns on the last 2 final drives. Like, you got to hold up. But it's not like they were bad and getting absolutely carved up, where it was like first down, Zach Wilson drops back, hits the dude, they get another first down. No, they were backed up consistently on 3rd and longs and even a couple 4th downs where they converted. And Zach Wilson, for some reason, was 99 overall in escapability and also luckiness yesterday. Not only in that second half for those final 2 drives, but throughout the whole game. So, like, there were still really positive signs from that defense, I thought, without having Witherspoon and without having TJ Watt, where we were still stopping the run. We were still getting pressure on Wilson, backing them up into really good situations, 3rd and longs. And I'm still not sure if Corey Davis actually caught the ball. But you could see the framework is there on defense, but also on offense with Pickett getting in the game, that we could be legitimate week in and week out, and we can be competitive and maybe make a little bit of a run. The problem is we are at this 1-3 mark, which really sucks. We got our back up against the wall, but we were also 1-3 last year, and you saw that we made the playoffs. And I don't think this team as a whole is as broken as what it was last year. The only difference is we had Big Ben, a Hall of Fame quarterback, a GOAT. Let's see what Pickett can do for us going forward as a rookie. But I do think Minkah, and this kind of just wraps up my whole point here, where we're still there. Like, I think we were the better team yesterday. I think we outplayed them, not only in the first half, but also in the second half. But it's just football sometimes. Minkah said this: "It's frustrating losing the people that you know you're better than, more talented than." So essentially, I still saw too many good things yesterday from this team to be writing them off. Not only with the offense coming to life, but the defense consistently forcing the Jets into tough scenarios, but then somehow the Jets pulling something out of their ass and keeping drives going. But I'm already hearing it. People are saying, oh, we got the gauntlet coming up, blah, 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 the gauntlet. Fuck the gauntlet. All those teams are beatable. All those games are winnable. We're going to have TJ Watt and Witherspoon hopefully coming back in the near future. And also now we got Pickett running the offense. Well, I guess it's not confirmed that Pickett's going to be running the offense just yet. But we all know what we saw yesterday. That's it for this edition of Big Deke News. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay chill and let me know what you think down in the comments. Peace.